Okay, in this video we've programmed it so that we've got our walls being drawn, but there's only one wall, which is the wall at the bottom. So we're just going to make a quick addition to our ball world. Okay, so where we had our create walls, create the 4 outer walls, we only created one. We created the bottom wall. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's get rid of that and replace it with the actual code to create them. And there's going to be a bit of copy and pasting here. Okay, and to begin with, it is going to give us an error simply because we're creating the same variables again and again. So I'm going to call that top wall, and then a bit of quick copy and paste. Let's call that one a left wall. Quick copy and paste. And another quick copy and paste. And now I've got my right variable names, but I've got to go in and fix them all. So top wall is going to be horizontal as well, but the X pos is going to be 0, the Y pos is going to be 0, the length is going to be the width, and I think that's what I need to change on there. So left wall, X pos and Y pos are both going to be 0, the length is going to be height, and it is going to be a vertical wall. And then the X pos is going to be width, the Y pos is going to be 0, the length is going to be height, and that's going to be vertical. Just check, bum, 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 bum. So the right wall will be here, cross that, yeah, that seems right. So let me just quickly run that, see if all 4 walls appear. Yeah, you can see, just about see it's being rendered on the top there. Okay, but obviously we don't have any bounce for them yet, and it still is looking like those balls are nearly bouncing through, and you can see now they're falling off the edges. But before we get on to that, I want to add an idea of scaling. Okay, and that is when I get my anything X position or Y position that's coming from the back end, I want to scale it to the current width and current height. Okay, so I'm going to create a couple of sort of helper functions here. So private double, let's call this scale X. Okay, what that's going to do is going to take a an X base value, and it is going to return let me think how we're going to do this. So it's going to be the X val divided by the world I'm in the wrong place. I'm not in the front end, I'm in my ball world. I want to be here. Okay, and I'm going to divide that by the world dot, so it's going to be the width. Okay, so that's going to give me a scaling, a fractional value between 0 and 1 of how much of the world's width I have in this. Okay, and then I am going to multiply that by the the width of my canvas. So ball canvas dot width. Now I have to be careful here, okay, because there's different widths. Now this comes down to, in a lot of modern front end sort of visual environments, the width and height aren't always what you want it to be, because there's a difference between what you want it to be and what the system is able to draw it as. So what we're actually going to look at here is the actual width. So let's see, ball canvas dot actual width. And that should give me a scaled value of, so for example, if I've got a 100 wide world, actually I think about my 600, I've got 600 wide world and I've got something at 300, but I've increased the size of my canvas to be 1,000, then it's going to draw it at 500. That's the idea behind it. Okay, and I do the same for a scale Y, where I pass in a Y val, and then, but I do that by the height. The actual height. Now, this also tends to give you a problem when you start up, is that if you do it before it's actually appeared on screen, then if the width and height has not been, like it's not been drawn on screen yet, the actual width and actual height come up as not a number. So I might, maybe we run this and it crashes straight away, because when we've tried to do this scaling, it's actually it's not yet been rendered on the screen, and the actual width and actual height are down as not a number. We'll give it a try, see what happens. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, so where I've got the X pos and Y pos, so I'm going to instead do scale X, ball.xpos, and scale Y, ball.ypos. Okay, and I am going to do the same for the diameter. Ooh, the diameter is going to be, yeah, I'll do the same for the diameter, but I'm going to have to convert it, I'm going to have to cast it. Width will be scale X. I'm going to have to cast it with double O. Scale Y. Or is it doing it implicitly? That's an int. Yeah, it's doing it implicitly. That's fine. And then I need to do it for my wall as well. So scale X. Scale Y. Scale X. Scale Y. There we go. I think that's all of them. Now hopefully I shouldn't have to reposition my screen to see the wall. There we go. And now if I do that, you get the idea. Okay. Alright, so now we've got our four walls, and they're always going to show no matter what we do. You do get this nice funny lag. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.